I don't know if you guys saw the video from Myron Gaines, who runs the Fresh and Fit podcast. I don't know if you guys know who he is. I've spoken about him a number of times on this show, but there's a clip that is currently going viral at the moment, and damn well right, it should go viral. And I was going to make a video about this yesterday, but I thought let's leave it for another day, let people have their reactions, and let's sit back and watch what actually goes on with these reactions. How many people are siding with what this woman said versus how many are calling it out and saying it is disgusting, despicable, and we should never have this ever again. I was actually shocked at how many people actually came to this woman's defense. We have a growing number of anti-Semitism, not just here in Australia, but over in the US. And this girl on the Myron Gaines podcast that went incredibly viral, saying that Hitler, the Jews were responsible for their own Holocaust, apparently. And Hitler, he didn't do it right, according to this girl. He did it too barbaric. To say something like that, right? And then she goes, I'm not dumb. I know what's going on. I hate to break it to you, woman, but you are incredibly dumb. You are a useful idiot, is what the terminology says. And to believe that Hitler, of all people, had the right to do what he did, and he was justified in doing it, and the Jews were actually responsible for their own Holocaust, is not only evil, it is from the pit of hell. And you, woman, saying that kind of stuff should have no job. You should be reprimanded considerably. There should be consequences for you saying that, because, you know, we said once, never again. And that means never again, doesn't it? But I think we've forgotten that. Ever since October 7th, we've got a massive amount of anti-Semitism going on in our world. I don't think I need to play you guys the clip, but I want to play Scott Jennings, because Scott Jennings had something to say about this. He played it on his radio program, and I guess the best thing to do is to actually show you what Scott Jennings had to say, who, if you don't know who Scott Jennings is, he is a CNN, I believe, analyst and a podcaster as well. He has left a lot of dingbats silenced because he's brilliant at what he does, and he's been sticking up for Israel of late, and damn well right, we all should. And this kind of stuff about the Holocaust and saying that Hitler was justified, all that sort of stuff, that is truly despicable behavior. Have a watch of Scott Jennings' reaction.
I do want to close the week talking about a serious issue, and it is the rising scourge of anti-Semitism in America, particularly among younger people. You may have seen this clip, but if you haven't, I'm going to play it for you. There is a podcaster named Myron Gaines. In full disclosure, I'd never heard of this person or his podcast, but he's very popular among younger listeners. He's got a large following on social media. They have this thing called the Fresh and Fit After Hours podcast, and he's holding a roundtable with young panelists. The conversation turns to Hitler and the Holocaust and the Jews. I want you to listen carefully and prepare yourself for what you're about to hear.
What do you guys think about Hitler?
What if the Jewish did something to the Germans that made them act a certain way, but nobody wants to talk about it? Like, the Jews don't want to take accountability.
They don't. That's
Yes.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay.
That's why, like, there was up to something, so the Germans wanted to take them out.
Like, payback.
It had to be something. Like, Germans wanted to take them out, all of them out.
They damn near
Martin
wiped everybody
Luther
out
King.
the map.
They started it.
Like, get somebody
Damn, he's
Here we
hard.
go.
Like, yeah, talk about them.
Yeah,
Eat them up.
The Holocaust was the only way he can take out a huge population, like a huge amount of Jews all in one setting. But I already know what's going on. Like, I'm not dumb. Like, I know, like, the Jews did something. That's why they sent up here. They're trying to take back, like, they're trying to take back and get repercussions, especially from America, like, from Americans. So they're taking over the government and stuff like that.
I'm telling you, how do we take them down?
How do we take them down?
Yeah.
I mean,
Gotta kill them.
I had to say it.
My bad, y'all.
Genocide.
My bad.
Hitler, he had the plan, but his plan was just too, like, very, like, gruesome, if we can say it.
Listen,
He said,
he had to do what he had to do.
But he had to do it.
He was like,
Listen, he was trying to save the world.
I
It didn't
agree.
work out. He just didn't
I
do what he
mean,
had to do.
Jews are the reason why the healthcare system and everything around us in the government is collapsing, because they're sitting up here stealing away from the American people.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard. A podcast hosted by a man named Myron Gaines, the Fresh and Fit After Hours podcast. It deserves all of our scorn. Laughing, justifying the actions of Adolf Hitler, saying the Jews deserved the Holocaust. Congressman Richie Torres, a Democrat from New York City, I don't agree with him on much, but on one issue, the man has had real backbone. It's the issue of Israel and the treatment of the Jewish people. He had this to say: it is profoundly disturbing to see young social media influencers casually rationalize Hitler and the Nazi regime's systematic extermination of 6 million Jews during the Holocaust. The only thing more terrifying than Holocaust denial is Holocaust glorification. The comfort with which these commentators defend the most evil man ever to roam the earth should send chills down the spine of every decent person. I could not agree more with Congressman Torres. It is incredible to me, the brainwashing that is going on in the United States of America and throughout the West of our young people as it relates to Israel, as it relates to the Jewish people, as it relates to what's happening in Gaza, as it relates to what happened historically in World War II. You hear the lunacy, and the casual hatred coming out of the mouths of these young people. You think about what happened on college campuses in the United States of America, folks. We have a real problem on our hands.
What did the Jews do to the Germans that made the Germans react and wipe out over 6 million of them? Yeah, what did the Jews do that the Jews aren't taking any kind of accountability for? I wonder. The Jews couldn't even defend themselves or fight back. Gee, it must have been a very, very horrible thing the Jews did to the Nazis that got the Nazis all, let's lock them up in concentration camps in Auschwitz. Let's experiment on children. Let's do all that sort of stuff. Let's burn people alive. Let's gas them. Let's shoot them. Let's treat them like they're not even human beings anymore. Let's treat them worse than animals. Let's do all that. And then when the Nazis were caught, they were ashamed. They were ashamed of it. Right. So what non-dumb person, because you think that you're not dumb, what was it that the Jews did? I wonder. Can you please pinpoint for me what it was? Because I would love to know. I'm pretty sure the Jews would love to know as well, that they're supposedly not taking any accountability for. Right. I know, like I'm not dumb. I know the Jews, shut the f*** up, woman. Good grief, you are honestly insufferable. These young people are being led astray by people like Candace Owens, Myron Gaines, Tucker Carlson, you name it. This massive movement, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, to go completely against Israel. And you know what happens? Also, there's a honest historian that Tucker Carlson relies on quite heavily when it comes to real historical facts. It's, you guessed it, the Martyr Maid guy. These are the people that are being listened to by many vulnerable young minds. And then you have these sorts of dumb dingbats that come out and say, oh, the Holocaust was like the only like thing that like Hitler like could, like wipe out. And Scott Jennings' reaction to this as well was spot on. Spot on. And I'm glad that more people are actually starting to see if you're defending Hitler, you're the problem. You're defending an evil, twisted man like Daryl Cooper does very, very well. If you're defending Hitler and then saying Churchill was the real enemy or saying that the Jews did something to piss off the Germans, how about existing? Did that ever cross your mind? How about the Nazis just being so hateful and so evil, they committed so many atrocities? When we say never again, means never again. This stuff is what causes Holocausts. This is how it begins. Myron Gaines is a Muslim. Don't know if you noticed that. A Muslim running cover for Hitler. We have a serious problem on our hands. Young people are being led astray, lied to, and they need significant shaking up. It's honestly unbelievable. It really is. I wonder if this girl would have the balls to go and tell this to a Holocaust survivor's face. No, definitely not. For the life of me, I cannot understand how anyone can believe that Hitler and the Nazis were in fact the good people in committing the worst thing in mankind. One of the worst things. Can't. I hope this woman gets really reprimanded. I really do. Consequences for her actions. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.